Hey, how's it going everybody? GumbleFan15 here, and this is going to be my first work in progress video of the 1:72 scale Mechanicore GP02, or as they call it, the Pyrannosaurus. I've gotten, I'm not going to say quite a bit, I've gotten a fair amount done. I've gotten, as you can see, the chest, part of the backpack, and his start of his lower waist done, as well as the head, a couple arm pieces, a shoulder piece, and the special weapon that you get for the premium edition. I'll get to all that here in a second. First, let me start off by saying, if you have never built any type of third-party kit before, just be forewarned, you are gonna have a lot of sanding, a lot of cutting of excess plastic, trimming, and a lot of glue. Because this damn thing really tests my skill and tests my patience, because nothing wants to fit together correctly. Looks really cool, don't get me wrong, but it's giving me hell. Starting off looking at the chest up here. The inner frame, again, like everything else, has a lot of detail. I mean, that's really cool in there. I mean, if you want to invest the time to painting this, there's a lot to do, believe me. But the inner frame, more than anything else, has the most fitting issues. I don't know why, but it's like they molded it and then didn't really care that much about making sure it fit correctly. You see all those promo images for it. I don't know what the hell they did, but I couldn't do it. I had a lot of trouble, especially up here along the top part, getting everything to close. I ended up having to cut a couple of the pegs actually completely off and trim some other pieces, and then just super glue them together and clamp them in order to just get them to stay, because they keep wanting to pop out. But once you get to the outer armor, it's actually pretty much okay. It has a cool little gimmick for the opening of the cockpit. Opens up like here. Just don't want to break it. Something like that. And then this is supposed to open up. And you actually get a little pilot figure in there. Pretty cool. But yeah, getting this to fit in there, it's not fitting in there perfectly straight. It's actually kind of cocked to the side, along with a lot of other stuff on here that just doesn't go together. I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout these videos. The actual inner part of it here, the chair that he sits in and the monitor, according to the instructions, you just push them together and that's it. That is not what happens. There is no damn way for it to just snap together and then it be assembled. You have to glue it. Like the monitor right up in here, I had to glue a little fork piece and then just press it in, because otherwise you just push it in and falls right out. So that's how it is with a lot of things on here. Same thing with these here. Now it does say in the manual a lot of spots where it says it requires glue. You're gonna have to glue everything here. The photo etch parts that go onto here, you have to glue all those on. Nothing just snaps on. So you get some photo etch parts, I think around in here and along some other pieces on the head, but a lot of them you can't even really see. So this also has some, you know, open hatch gimmicks here and there. I can't really get to it right now, but it's pretty cool. The problem I had, and I don't know if anybody else is gonna have this problem, a lot of the instructions are backwards. The main example here, these pieces up here, in the instructions, it clearly tells you to cut out this number for these two up here and place them in the front and these two in the back. However, it is supposed to be reversed. You look at all the images, it's reversed. I did not realize that because what I did, this was the first one I did here in the back. Since I've been having fitting issues with everything, I tried to push this in, and the connector for this red piece was too small for the gray hole. So I just glued it in, not thinking anything else of it. And when I got to this front one, it was too big. So I shaved some of it down, pushed it in. And it wasn't until I started really looking at it that I realized, oh crap, it's backwards. I couldn't take the glue off without damaging the plastic, because I tried that once and it completely broke apart everything, so I had to glue everything back together. So it's just gonna have to look like that. And it's with that with a few pieces that I've done so far. You know, some of it's been in the head. So just pay attention. Really pay attention before you start assembling things. The other problem, the main wire harness that runs through all this, it starts in the chest area and it comes down through here. Nothing, the only wires, you know, they run through the back here. But according to the instructions, it makes it seem like there's actually two separate harnesses that go from here to here. Because in order to get this assembled correctly, it's saying that you have to run the harness through here and up through here. It's a really weird way, but the only thing that I could do was I had to assemble all this together with the wire still attached to here. So imagine having to build all this while having this like cocked to the side and then just trying to run the wires. It's real freaking difficult. And then assembling the start of his backpack here, I had to put that on in order to keep this level. So it was a real pain in the ass. You're gonna have a hard time with this. I got this shoulder piece done. Didn't really have that much difficulty with it. As you can see, you got the photo etch part right in here. Doesn't look too bad. And a lot of detail on all this. It's pretty cool. The arms, I've got this up here next. These connectors up here, same damn problem. I had to trim everything down and super glue it, and it still doesn't even look completely right, but it is what it is. I'm saving that head for last. This is the one thing that I actually got completely done. This is the special, even with the glue and clamped on there for 2 hours, it still doesn't want to go together completely. Same thing with here. Now this is where I had the main damn problem. As you can see, there's some pieces that are breaking off here, and pieces completely broken off here, and starting to break somewhere around in there. I literally just picked it up one day, was messing with it, and everything started falling apart. Don't know why. Don't know why. It's just cheap. It feels like cheaply made plastic in this area. All the rest of it, pretty much okay, but there, nah. So, oh, and also the magnet that goes in here and up here. Of course, you gotta glue those in. But be mindful, because there is a north and a south, you know, like all magnets. But it doesn't tell you which side is which. So when I put it in backwards. So I had to literally dig everything out in order to reapply it. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Got a nice hefty weight to it. And now for this damn thing, the head. Looks pretty cool, right? Well, I got a lot of problems with this. There's actually so many tiny pieces that make up just the inner part of this head, it will drive you insane. It really, really will. I think just assembling a few pieces of the head, just on the inside, took me hours and hours to do, because nothing wanted to fit together right. And it's coming back to bite me in the ass, and I'll tell you why here. So I have the optional faceplate, which is the original GP02 faceplate that they give you. You do have the Mechanicore version that is supposed to be able to swap out with just a magnet. There's a magnet on the back of this faceplate that you can just pop out, put a new one on. However, as you can see, I had to glue the damn thing in there, and it's not even perfectly straight because, like everything else on this kit, didn't want to go in correctly. Assembling the side vents here and all this front section required so much glue and so much modification that by the end of it, it just looks kind of wonky. Like, I'm pretty sure that the red piece up here on the top should be pushed in more. The photo etch parts that are in it, I think there's like 3 or 4 behind this that you can kind of see. The slots that they go into on the clear green piece behind it are so thin that it just didn't want to work correctly. I mean, they're in there, I glued them, but I think the green piece also isn't pushed back all the way, so that's causing everything else to kind of bow out. Like, this piece right here should definitely be pushed in more. If you look at all the images, it's pushed up right against it. That's as far as I could get it to go. So that happened, and then I had to glue this on, so there's no swapping out the faceplate. I wasn't going to anyway, because I like, you know, the original better. It still would have been nice. And then the other problem, installing the LED in this, as you can see, it's in there kind of sideways, because I couldn't get it to go in any other way. Trimmed it, did everything I could, nothing. And so the problem that I'm going to have is going to be connecting this to the actual kit. It'll go on, but you'll see here in a second that there's a problem. The last thing, putting these 2 pieces on, this photo etch part along with this little antenna, be very careful. They are very small and very thin and will easily break on you. There's also supposed to be a open hatch gimmick like right here and along the sides here. I had to glue all that down because there's no way it was going to go together. So that's that. Now, as far as connecting this is where it's going to go, right up in here. If I just do a normal, just push down into the peg, that's how it's going to look. Now, I could just, you know, get some putty or something and try and figure out a way to get it to look correct. Maybe put some putty up along the left side here to try and push it up, but I don't know. If y'all have any ideas in the comments, or sorry, if y'all have any ideas, leave them in the comments. Now, as far as plugging up the LED, that's the connector right down in here. Just get you your USB cable, which it does not come with, by the way, and plug it up. Come on. Here we go. Pretty cool, right? Let me turn some of these lights off. Pretty cool. The only issue is this piece down here. It's pushed all the way in, but it still doesn't really look right. It's just, you just got a white light behind there for some reason. Not really sure why. And then pushing the head on, I have to literally push down in order to get it. If I let go, it comes off. So I don't know if I can glue it into this certain spot and it'll be fine and it'll still be working, or if gluing it will just mess it up. So if y'all have any ideas, please let me know, because this is not looking that well to me when it's all lit up. I mean, as you can see, if that red piece was pushed more in, it would probably look better. But at the moment, not so much. So that's where I'm at with this. So I'll probably do the decals on all this later on. I'm gonna keep working on it. I mean, I haven't had as much trouble with this body as I have with the head, so we'll see. So that's gonna be it for this video, everybody. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. As always, there's links in my description to my Facebook page, The New Type Builder, as well as my Instagram, so go check those out. And with that, see you all next time.